Hi, welcome to another Tech from Stage 86. For today, I will just give a quick review on this Fog Tutelage deck used by Trick 22 to win PD events. I think it's around 2 weeks ago. It's centered around the Sphinx Tutelage, so it's a mill deck. I have done my own mill deck, my own tutelage deck, but it's mono blue, and this deck here is quite interesting because of glamour die, which I will talk later. So let's get on to the deck. First, I will show you the price first. It's $3 for now. Why is it $3? Because of two cards. First is Light of Day. It's quite used for now because there's a lot of black aggro decks, and also later on you will see that this one is quite essential for the deck that I think you will need to buy this one. Okay, this is the first expensive card for this deck, and the second one is Erection Furnace. It's almost $1 per card. So actually for the original deck that Trick used, he was using 4 Sentinel Totem, which is quite cheap. It's only 6 cents. But then when I played, I think if you can if you can buy or you have already one furnace, it's good to have one furnace, because when you are against a reanimator deck, and especially those one, I think I will do another deck tag for that reanimator deck that Briars make, that are quite resilient to totem, because it's not like the old reanimator where when you wipe the graveyard then the deck is basically dead. No, so I think you will want to have one card like Furnace here, where it's not a one-time use, it's a repeatable use. So although I would say the price right now it's too high for a PD card, so for now I think if you don't have any furnace, then you can go for totem, for Sentinel Totem, 4 copies of Sentinel Totem. But if you have one furnace available, I think having 3 totem and 1 furnace is better. That's my opinion. Okay, so that's why the price is quite high, $3. Okay, let's get on to the deck list. We have 23 spells. We have Fog here, Anticipate for drawing your cards, finding your combo pieces. Glamour die, one of the key component to this deck, because Glamour die you can use it to change all instance of one color word with another. So what you want to use this is you are using for compose, especially when you are against a monocolored deck. So change the black word there, the color black, to whatever your opponent deck's was. Is it red deck, then you change to red. Is it mono green or is it mono white, you change it. Compose together with Sphinx Tutelage, usually in one turn it will mill your opponent's entire deck, usually, especially if they are on a monocolored deck. Then you only need one compose and one tutelage, then usually it will be enough. The other use for glamour die is here, light of day. You can change the word black there into any other color. Again, it's work best if you are against a monocolored deck. Then the other use is for this one, Spear of Law. So if you don't have light of day, then Spear of Law is also good to hold your opponent's attack. And in some matchup against red deck, this one is very good because it can deal with the creatures as well as the burn spells, the instant and the sorcery spells. So this is why we have glamour die here. Quite a surprising inclusion. I think most of the players, when they first see this deck list, they are quite surprised that turns out glamour die is not as bad as people think. Okay, so this is why they use glamour die. Then we have lull. You can use it as a fog, or you can use it as a draw spells to fuel your tutelage. Tangle, a very nice fog spells. Basically it will buy you 2 turns, the current turns and then the next opponent's turns, especially if they are attacking all out with all their creatures, because Tangle will make the attacking creatures cannot untap on the next untap phase. Then you have Careful Consideration. It's draw spells to find your combo pieces. Then when you have tutelage, it's a good fuel to mill your opponents because you are drawing 4 cards. Then Treasure Cruise. When you have a full graveyard, then it can become a 1 blue mana to draw 3 cards. Again, it's a very good draw spells. Then for the enchantment, I think I have talked about these cards. Compose as a main combo piece with Sphinx Tutelage. Then you have Bounty of the Luxa, additional draw spells or mana source. Then you have Light of Day and Spear of Law. Then for the lands, you have Forest, Island, Lonely Sandbar. Again, you can use it as a tap land or you can use it as a draw spells. Then you have 2 planes, you have Seaside Citadel and you have Temple of Mystery. And for sideboard, you have Invasive Surgery for usually those memory side type effect of spells. Usually they are sorcery, so you will want to counter those cards because you don't want your combo pieces to be exiled. Then you have Graveyard Removal, like I talked in the beginning. Either you want to go 4 copies of Totem or 3-1 split with Furnace, it's up to you. Neutralize against opponent's artifact or enchantment, because for this season there's quite a lot of decks that are using significant number of artifact or enchantments, so it's good to have Neutralize. Then you have Forsake the Worldly as an like Neutralize, but it also have an added bonus as a cycling. So yeah, another fear for your tutelage. Then you have Dissipation Field. You have additional of Light of Day, additional Spear of Law, then and hostilities if you are against creatures decks that are playing most you are playing against quite creature heavy decks. So this is your 75 cards. So like I think I have mentioned in the previous section when I'm talking about the cards, the combo. So the main win condition for this deck is when you have Compose and Sphinx Tutelage on the field. You only need one Sphinx Tutelage usually. You don't need multiple if you have Compose and Sphinx Tutelage. And of course, after you have changed the color on the Compose ability with any color that your opponents are on using Glamour die. So usually Compose and Tutelage is the best win condition that we want. Okay, and the rest is just a way to buy you sometimes until you get these two active and basically mills your opponent's entire deck. So that's it. Then this deck is good against a mid-range deck that are playing to win on turn. Let's say if your opponent's deck can only win after turn 4 maybe, I think you have a good chance of winning it. So in the opposite way, this deck is bad when you are against a very quick aggro deck like what we have now is a black zombie deck or the red tech win. Although you have Light of Day, so if you can cast Light of Day, basically it's a free win against zombie deck. But against the red deck win, it's quite tricky because although you are able to hold their damage from creatures because we have quite a lot of fog spells, but then we cannot prevent any of the damage from instant their burn spells. So it's quite tricky that matchup. I think I have played 2 matches today against red tech win, and then yeah, it's quite tricky because you need to have your fog spells ready on turn 2 the latest. Then each turn what happen is you will need to have your land drops happens. You cannot miss any of your land drops because you want to be able to cast the fox while be able to cast any other your combo pieces. So what happened in my matches, sorry there's no recording, is that I missed quite a few turns of the land drops, which means I need to choose between casting my combo piece or casting the fox spell. The dilemma here when you are against red tech win is that you don't want to, I know you want to hold on to your fog spells until you really need, but you don't want them to make your life low enough that their burn spells can basically kill you. They have Flame Jeff, which deal 4 damage. And they have multiple of 3 damage spells at 2 cost. And so yeah, that's the tricky part. So if you don't have a good draw and you miss your land drops, it's quite tricky, because you will need to cast your fog spells basically every combat phase of them, every their combat phase. So in the other flip side, I say this deck can beat decks that are aiming at turn 5, turn 6 win. This deck usually can handle them well, because by then I think if you have a good draw, you can combo off at turn 4 usually. So yeah, I think that's all. What I will suggest you to change, it's up to you. You want to try the stock list first, then after you played several matches, you can try to modify it to your liking. What I will change for now from my experience is Bounty of the Luxa. While it's quite tempting to have this in your deck because it serves as a draw spells and as a mana producer, but then have to spend 4 mana on this card on turn 4 against aggro decks. It's suicide move. So I think I will put this I will remove one of the copies, so go down to 2 Luxa, and then I don't know, I think we need something else. Treasure Cruise also, while it's a very good draw spells, having 3 of them is quite expensive, and most of the time Cruise will end up like a dead card in my hand. I cannot cast it, then I miss my land drop, then I need to prioritize my fog spells. So yeah, I think you can go down to 2 Cruise maybe, and then put a cheaper draw spells that are maybe not as great as Cruise, but as in a cheaper cost, it will allow you to play them while keeping the fog mana up. Okay, I think it's all about this deck. Just one notes for you if you want to play this, and if you haven't realized, compost triggered abilities is a May ability. That means you do not have to draw a card when your opponent put that colored card that match your compost color there into the library, into the graveyard. So just keep in mind, because you don't want to out-milling yourself while you are on the process of milling your opponents. Because if you are drawing on an empty library, you will lose first before your opponent lose on their draw phase. So never put an auto yielding on compose ability. At least never set the always yes. You can set the auto yield, but then you have to click the yes or no yourself, because you don't want to mill your deck as well. Just a quick reminder, just make sure you do not use this deck, then you'll lose to your own card. I think that's all. If you have any comment, any suggestion, you can write in the comment section below. You can write in our Discord server. I will personally try to help you, and I will also give the links to Trick 22 deck list below, and also on my modified deck list. Then you can choose which one you want to use as a basis for your deck. I think that's all for now. See you in the next deck tech video.